VVPAT machine being used as a chair. An orphaned EVM abandoned beneath a tree. Polling parties transporting EVMs with shocking negligence. At the transportation stage itself, the outer covers of VVPAT machine breaks off. These unsettling visuals offer just a glimpse into the troubling state of affairs from the recent general elections. While some of this footage is sourced directly from the Election Commission of India, other scenes were captured by a candidate who contested the elections. The widespread breaches of protocols and blatant flouting of regulations cast serious doubts on the effectiveness and robustness of our electoral security measures. Imagine a VVPAT machine, an essential component of a democratic process, relegated to the role of a mere chair. Despite claims from manufacturers about the durability of these machines, their increasing rate of malfunction reveals a troubling reality. Such blatant mistreatment and disregard for these critical devices are wholly unacceptable. Here, we find an orphaned EVM, abandoned beneath a tree. This is a clear violation of established protocols for the safe custody of these crucial machines that are used to conduct our elections. Here, polling parties are seen transporting EVMs with shocking negligence. The lack of diligence in handling these machines could jeopardize the entire electoral process. Look how the polling parties are left to their own resources to arrange for transport. This can result in potential damage to the machines or the possible disappearance of some. In this video, you can see that at the transportation stage itself, the outer covers of VVPAT machines are visibly broken and not securely locked. And in this footage, we can see unsealed VVPAT machines with broken covers being transported with alarming casualness on the streets. So how did we come by this troubling footage? To provide some context, senior lawyer Mahmood Pracha, in order to lay his hands on the footage regarding the conduct of the Lok Sabha elections, contested the elections from Rampur Lok Sabha constituency in Uttar Pradesh, where the polls were held on April 19th. After the elections, he requested the respective district election officer to provide him with the entire videography and CCTV footage related to the general elections. Not just in Rampur, Pracha also wrote to many DEOs across India, asking them to supply the entire footage pertaining to the conduct of 2024 general elections. Pracha is now in the process of getting footage from various parts of the country. But for now, let's focus on this shocking footage from Rampur. Observe this truck used for the transportation of EVM and VVPAT machines. According to the Election Commission of India's manual on electronic voting machines, EVMs are required to be transported in containerized or sealed trucks equipped with proper locking arrangements. However, this footage reveals an open truck, lacking a roof and covered with sheets that have noticeable holes. This footage was provided by the Election Commission of India itself to Mahmood Pracha.
My entire exercise has been to expose that the ECI has lied to the Supreme Court, has lied to the entire world about various things. Like they follow a protocol very rigorously, and that makes EVMs safe. Not because EVMs are safe per se, but because of their protocols, they become safe. So we have tried to show to the world that all this is a total blatant lie. Now this is the most crucial aspect which everybody is talking about. This is the symbol loading unit exercise. This is the first time people in the world will be seeing this. Now this is the symbol loading unit. Election Commission in its manual is not even putting an image of this.
Mahmood Pracha engages in a conversation with a BEL engineer who was responsible for assisting Election Commission officials in Rampur. The engineer's role included commissioning the machines and loading the symbols into the VVPAT machine using the SLU, the symbol loading unit. Pracha questions the engineer about the specifics of the VVPAT machine, seeking clarity on its functions and operations.
इसलिए बोला क्योंकि लिखा है इसलिए बोल रहे हो ना, और तो कोई आपकी पर्सनल नॉलेज नहीं है ना इसकी। करेक्ट, इस पे क्योंकि लिखा है VVPAT और भारत इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, इसीलिए आप इसे VVPAT बोल रहे हो। जैसे पहले भी देखा है जो आपका देखा है मगर
For the first time here, we're getting a glimpse of the symbol loading unit or the SLU. This critical device is responsible for uploading the names and symbols of candidates contesting a particular seat onto the VVPAT machines. While voters see 3 units at the polling booth, the EVM control unit, ballot unit and VVPAT printer, there is a 4th device integral to the setup, the SLU. Though not used during voting, the SLU plays a crucial role before the polls by preparing the EVM and VVPAT machines with essential candidate information. Its proper storage and transportation are extremely crucial to ensuring the election process runs smoothly.
Then I also questioned him that how have you brought it here? So he showed me the boxes which were again unsealed. Now whether they were, even if they were sealed, the only way of ensuring safety of these pen drives or SLU, so to say, is the hash value. If he provides me and shows me that there is a hash value, which will certify that these were not tampered with. So that he had no clue about. अब ये मुझे बता दीजिए कि ये क्या चीज़ है? ये सिंबल लोडिंग। इसमें सिंबल्स हैं इसके अंदर, वो कहाँ से आए इसमें? ये किस ऑलरेडी लोडेड है, ये किसने दिया आपको लोड करके? ECIL ने, इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया ने इसको लोड करके आपको दिया। कहाँ पे दिया, कैसे दिया? नहीं तो ये आपके सामने तो इसमें सिंबल लोड नहीं किया गया ना, आपको सिर्फ ये मिल गया। और ये सील में था, ये तो आपने ओपन यहाँ दे दिया, इसमें कोई सील तो नहीं था ना? ये ओपन है ना, इसमें कोई सील लगा के तो नहीं दिया था मुरादाबाद का, वो आया ना, लेकिन यहाँ तो ये ओपन ही है ना, वो बॉक्स में दिखा दिया आपने, ये तो देख लें। तो इसमें भी कोई सील नहीं है सिंबल लोडिंग यूनिट में, राइट? आप सिर्फ बोल रहे हैं इसलिए मैं यकीन कर लूँ कि आप मुरादाबाद से लाए हो, करेक्ट? ये आप बोल रहे हो इसलिए यकीन कर लूँ। वो बैक बॉक्स दिखा दीजिए, किस में आया था ये बॉक्स? वो दिखा, इस बॉक्स में था ना, और इसमें कोई सील नहीं है। हाँ मतलब इसमें कोई सील नहीं है ना, किसी के साइन से, यही है ना? ये देख लो, तो ये अनसील्ड है, कोई भी खोल के इसको बंद कर सकता है। सिंबल लोडेड यूनिट को ये साफ है कि कोई भी खोल के बंद कर सकता है। ये है सिंबल लोडिंग यूनिट का लाने का तरीका, एक अनसील्ड बॉक्स में ये लिखा है।
So why is the SLU coming in an unsealed box? The ECI has put out only basic information related to SLU on its website. The SLU manual with complete detailing on how it works from the manufacture stage to the end stage, this information is not in public domain. When RTI interventions regarding SLU were made earlier to Bharat Electronics Limited BEL and the Electronics Corporation of India Limited ECIL by RTI activist Venkatesh Nayak, this information was denied. When a simple information like details of the official document handed over to every district election officer during the 2019 Lok Sabha elections containing details of SLU was asked, the ECIL basically said that this was classified information, and ECIL denied providing the information by invoking sections 81A and 81D of the RTI Act of 2005. Sections 81A of the RTI Act exempts information that could harm national security or strategic interests. Section 81D exempts information related to commercial secrets that could harm competitive business interests. So why is there so much secrecy surrounding the SLU manual and basic information related to SLUs? Shouldn't this crucial information be made available to the public? With no reference material available to monitor the implementation of protocols for the safety and use of SLUs, the actions of these engineers remain unchecked and unreviewed. The absence of a clear SLU protocol raises concerns about potential tampering and defects. If EVMs and VVPATs, which are crucial to the electoral process, can become defective in the thousands, it is reasonable to fear that SLUs could also suffer from similar issues. Given the track record of defects in EVMs and VVPATs, we cannot assume that SLUs will be completely functional and free from faults. Given these concerns, it is important that the Election Commission of India adopts greater transparency in the dissemination of information. Now take a look at these visuals. Polling parties are seen engrossed in conversation with the EVM and VVPAT machines left completely unguarded. The Election Commission of India must address whether such lax security is permissible at any stage during the transportation of these machines. Take a look at this CCTV footage. The court order mandates that the entire election process, from the first level checking to vote counting and the storage of EVM machines and other equipment, should be documented on video. In this footage, we can see individuals opening the strong room and carrying machines. The date mentioned in the footage is February 28, 2024, 1.5 months before polling. The reason for accessing these strong rooms by these individuals is unclear. Are we suggesting that something improper occurred? No. We are simply raising questions to ensure that the Election Commission of India implements robust systems and mechanisms to prevent any potentially suspicious activities. We encourage you to pay attention to the body language of the individuals involved. What transpired here remains known only to the Election Commission of India. Our role is to ask these important questions. Additionally, Pracha reveals that despite regulations requiring the complete videography and CCTV footage to be provided, he has still not received the full recordings. The footage provided shows significant gaps spanning weeks and months, and notably, the footage from the strong rooms is also missing, according to Pracha. If this is true, this raises serious concerns about the oversight and security of the machines during critical periods.
This is a strong room which the Rampur RO, on seeing my videos on Twitter, he had said that this is a strong room for the publicity and training, where the publicity and training machines are kept. It is again in violation of provision 5.5 of the EVM and VVPAT for training and awareness. They are unauthorizedly, illegally, in a manner which is flouting all the provisions in law, taking out these machines, and also there were gaps of days in the CCTV footage. This is obviously for a purpose which is not legal. So they are taking it out without any trail of what is the number of this EVM machine, and for how long they have kept it outside, what all they have injected, and what all they have done during the period when there is no CCTV footage. So you also have to remember one thing, this is their best foot forward, because they have not provided, as now we have at least 1.85 tetrabyte of the material which they have supplied. So from their own record, it is crystal clear that they have not.
So how can you say that they have not provided you the entire footage?
Because there are gaps. There are gaps of weeks, and they have not provided me the footage of strong rooms of FLC, which is the most crucial thing. Inside a strong room, there is a continuous CCTV camera coverage that they have not provided me. So for months and months, these machines were left unguarded. That is what a fair conclusion which we can draw.
In this video, individuals are seen sealing the machines in an open area. This footage was provided by the candidate who contested the elections. According to the candidate, this allegedly happened after the votes were polled on the 19th of April. According to the Election Commission of India's manual on electronic voting machines, there are specific guidelines on how machines must be sealed immediately after voting inside the polling station itself. The question we ask is whether it is permissible to take the machines out into an open area for sealing after the polls. We don't know what these individuals are actually doing with the machines.
Now they have brought, after polling, after the votes supposedly are captured in these machines, they are bringing these machines back to be stored in a safe and secure manner so that they can be counted about 1.5 months later. So what they are doing now is to be done in the polling booth itself, in front of the polling agents of various candidates. If they have brought the machines here in unsealed conditions, that is the state of affairs. If these machines are unsealed from the polling booth, traveling miles and miles, and they are brought here. Now, for the sake of just completing the formality, they are sealing it here. What is the sanctity of election? There is none. There is none.
All this footage comes from just one constituency, where a candidate closely monitored the Election Commission officials to ensure protocols were followed. It raises concerns about what might have happened in other constituencies where there was less oversight. We can only understand the broader situation by examining more footage from additional constituencies. This is the first time we are seeing such detailed videos related to the actual conduct of the elections. Did you know that any citizen of the country can get hold of the CCTV and video footage related to the conduct of the elections? As per the Handbook for Returning Officers 2023, published by the Election Commission of India, if anyone files an application for copies of the data or record or to inspect such data and record within the prescribed period, copies should be given free of cost to the candidates and on due payment of Rs 300 per CD storage device to any other person. Despite clear rules, when Pracha wrote to DEOs across the country, some DEOs willingly shared the footage, while others denied it, citing non-existent rules. Look at how the Election Commission officials function. Take a look at this. The Deputy Commissioner of Mysore states that there is 35 TB data and information can be provided at a total estimated cost of 1 lakh rupees. On the other hand, the officials from Peddapalli in Telangana state that the data cannot be shared. Turning our attention to those responsible for sharing the videography and CCTV footage, we encounter a troubling trend in the fees being charged. In Mysore, officials have demanded 1 lakh rupees, while Shimla officials have requested 58,200 rupees. More alarmingly, officials in Balasore in Odisha have asked for an astounding 12,77,100 rupees without providing any detailed justification for these exorbitant costs.
And I am making a challenge before Mr. Rajiv Kumar. If he can show me that 10% of his own Election Commission's protocols have been followed, I will ask for forgiveness and I will never raise the voice of elections by EVM machines. If he cannot show this even in one constituency, then he should be ashamed of himself. That's all I'll say. One constituency across the country where he can show that even 10% from his own videos, 10% of the mandatory provisions were followed. That is my challenge to him.
If the visuals are any indication, the rule books are being flouted without fear of repercussions. Despite extensive measures, including CCTV and videography, protocol violations persist. This brings to light a critical point. Merely implementing systems is not enough to ensure the integrity of the world's largest democratic elections. Officials need comprehensive training and a rigorous review of protocol adherence must follow the polls. A complete post-mortem after the elections is essential. Adhering to established protocols is not just important, it is key for upholding the integrity of our elections and restoring public confidence in the electoral process.